Hi, I'm James Brown, Florida licensed real estate attorney and founder of Title Leap.
And I'm Alexandra Nieto, title manager for James Brown Law. And today, Jim, I really want to talk about FIRPTA.
Oh, I better go get David for this one.
David, thank you for joining me. The minute I said FIRPTA, Jim panicked and left.
Well, you're welcome, and it's not like I had much of a choice, that Jim. I don't know why he's so afraid of FIRPTA. What's the big deal? Anyways, Alex, what does FIRPTA stand for?
Well, FIRPTA, I've got my little cheat sheet here, stands for U.S. Foreign Investment in Real Property Tax.
So it sounds like that if you're a foreigner, you're going to get taxed right off the bat if you try to sell property.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. That seems like quite a burden to put somebody right off the bat, huh?
It is, and the burden is kind of funny because it falls on the buyer, not the seller. So although it's the seller's money, it's the buyer's burden to make sure that those taxes are withheld and paid to the IRS.
Oh, that's interesting. So in other words, if for whatever reason the seller didn't pay this tax, and be, hey, Mr. Buyer, guess what? You owe us this tax now.
Exactly, because the seller is not in the country or is leaving the country. The buyer is here.
Right. So it's easier to get their hooks on them, huh?
Exactly. And there is one exception to the rule, though.
Okay.
If the purchase price is under $300,000 and the buyer is going to live in the property for half of the time that the property will be occupied during the first 2 years, FIRPTA does not apply.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a very interesting point, because it seems like if I'm a selling agent, if I'm a listing agent, I have a foreign client or customer who's selling their house, and let's say I get two offers. One of them is a cash investor offer, and the other one is, let's say, an FHA offer. We all know FHA has to be owner-occupied.
Exactly.
So in that case, the FHA offer would be stronger than the cash offer.
As long as it's under 300, absolutely, you're right.
What an interesting point. So listing agents, it's very important to know whether you have a foreign seller who might be subject to these FIRPTAs, because it could affect negotiating in many different ways.
The other thing that realtors can do to make sure that their FIRPTA deal goes smoothly, most properties are not under 300,000. We see many of them that are not.
Right.
And there is certain paperwork that can be filed or should be filed. And I think you've done a couple of these recently.
Yes, I have. So essentially, the seller would make application with the IRS. They would have to apply for a tax ID number. They'll usually get the help of a CPA throughout this process, and they will apply for what they call a withholding certificate, which would direct us exactly how much to remit to the IRS. And usually it's much less than the flat 15 or 10%, depending on the circumstances, that the tax would actually be.
Right. And depending on when that tax certificate is applied for, will determine on if we need to send the funds immediately after closing, or if under certain circumstances we might be able to wait, hold the money in escrow until we actually get the certificate with the exact amount.
Correct. So remember, when it comes to FIRPTA, make sure you're aware and make sure you have a team that can handle the deal.
Thanks for watching Title Talk with Title Leap, where we are all about empowering agents with the tools to succeed.
Hit subscribe, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn for all our weekly content. Thanks for watching.
See you next week.
Talking about soul.